Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Good news! I report to you today, the odds of winning a scholarship have increased. Nice. Let's dive right in. So the number of private scholarships have increased significantly over the last 4 years or so. This makes it easier to win a scholarship. Cha-ching! So the total number of undergraduate scholarships grew from 1.56 million in 2015 and 16 to 1.88 million in 2019 and 2020, which is a 20% increase. The total amount of private scholarships has also grown, yielding an increase in the average scholarship amount. The total amount of private scholarships increased from 6.1 billion with a B in 2015 and 16 to 8.3 billion in 19 and 20, and the average scholarship amount increased from $3,800 to $4,300. These stats are based on an analysis of data from the National Post-Secondary Student Aid Study, NPSAS, a quadrennial study about how students paid for college and graduate school. It's important. The 2019 and 2020 NPSAS was just released. Here, let's take a look at the growth in scholarships for students in bachelor's degree programs. A lot of undergraduate scholarships are awarded to students in bachelor's degree programs. As you know, they get 3/4 of the number of scholarships and 84% of all of that scholarship money that we talked about. The number of scholarships for students in bachelor's programs increased from 1.15 million in 2015 to 1.39 million in 2020. The odds of winning a scholarship increased from 12.7% to 15.2%. So that's like 1 in 7 students in bachelor's programs win a private scholarship. You got a good chance. The average scholarship amount increased from $4,202 to $4,927, which is a 17% increase. We have a chart that shows the growth in the average scholarship amount over the last 2 decades, just so you can see everything in action, starting from the year 95-96 all the way up to 2019-2020. You can find it at thecollegeinvestor.com. Copy and paste the title of the podcast right into the search bar and you'll find it. Let's take a look now at the growth in graduate fellowships. The number and amount of graduate fellowships has also grown. Like scholarships, fellowships are a great form of gift aid for graduate students. The number of graduate fellowships increased from 189 and some change thousand in 2015 and 16 to, get this, 237,500 in 2019 and 2020, a 25% increase. The odds of winning a fellowship increased from 5.3% to 6.5%. Still kind of low, but it's nice to know the odds are continuing to increase. Now, the total amount of fellowships increased from 1.28 billion to 1.87 billion bucks, which is a 47% increase. The average fellowship amount increased from $6,752 to $7,890, a 17% increase. All good things. Let's take a look at the likelihood of winning a full ride. The odds of winning a full ride scholarship that covers every single college cost. Very low. Only 1.4% of students in bachelor's programs have total gift aid covering everything. Gift aid includes grants and scholarships from all kinds of sources, not just private scholarships. The cost of attendance includes tuition, fees, room, board, books, supplies, equipment, transportation, and miscellaneous personal expenses. A somewhat greater chance of students in bachelor's degree programs, 3.1%, have total gift aid covering at least 90% of the cost of attendance. Among students in bachelor's degree programs whose gift aid covers the full cost of attendance, about 41% of the gift aid comes from scholarships. Only 0.5%, a 0.5% of students in bachelor's programs receive at least $25,000 in private scholarships, and 2.3% receive at least $10,000 in private scholarships. These amounts are for just 1 year, too. There are very, very few scholarships that actually offer a top prize of $100,000 or more over 4 years. These include The Regeneron Science Talent Search, up to $250K, by the way. Breakthrough Junior Challenge, that's also a $250,000. The Jack Kent Cook Foundation, up from $220,000, up to, I should say. DoD STEM scholarships, full tuition and fees, plus a stipend totaling $120,000. NSA Stokes Educational Scholarship Program, up to $120,000, and Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway, $100,000. You've seen the football thing, national championship game, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, in addition, the Quest Bridge National College Match Scholarship covers the full cost of attendance for selected low-income students at participating colleges, and that scholarship is worth up to $200,000. Let's take a look at some characteristics of scholarship recipients, just to see where you fit in here. Scholarships enable recipients to buy up to a more expensive college. Now, in 2019-2020, the average cost of attendance was $31,518 for scholarship recipients and $21,170 for non-recipients in bachelor's programs. Despite that high cost, the average net price was kind of similar, $16,455 for scholarship recipients and around the same thing for non-recipients. So 83% of scholarship recipients were enrolled at very or moderately selective colleges, compared with 75% of non-recipients. Students who enroll at very selective colleges are actually twice as likely to have won scholarships as compared with students at open admission colleges. 63% of scholarship recipients had an above-average SAT or ACT test score compared with just 57% of non-recipients. Bachelor's degree students with a high school GPA of 3.5 or higher are more likely to win scholarships, surprise, surprise, than students with a lower GPA. 74% of scholarship recipients in bachelor's programs had at least a 3.5 high school GPA on a 4.0 scale, of course, compared with 58% of non-recipients. This pattern persisted in college, with 52% of scholarships, or the people who receive them, having at least a 3.8 GPA, 3.5 GPA in college, compared with 39% of non-recipients. Let's just dive in a little bit deeper on students at private, nonprofit, four-year colleges are more likely to have won scholarships than students at public four-year colleges. That kind of surprises me. And then the numbers are even lower for private, for-profit four-year colleges. Not too much of a surprise there. They're trying to make a profit. Only 2.8% of scholarship recipients enrolled at private, for-profit four-year colleges, compared with 7.5% of non-recipients. All right, so scholarship recipients are more likely to enroll at private, nonprofit four-year colleges, 36% versus just 27%, and less likely to enroll at public four-year colleges. All right, now let's go ahead and do a quick thing and then we'll wrap up for today. Dependent students are more likely to have won scholarships than independent students, and 84% of scholarship recipients are dependent students, compared to 65% of non-recipients. 15% of scholarship recipients are independent students, compared to 35.5% of non-recipients. Female students in bachelor's programs are more likely to win scholarships, 16 versus 14%, but the average scholarship amount is a little bit lower, $4,741 versus $5,225. White students in bachelor's programs are more likely to win scholarships than black students, getting closer at 16.4% for white, 14.8% for black, Hispanic students even lower at 13.2%, and Asian students 11.5-ish%. More than half of scholarship recipients are white at 55.8%. Bachelor's degree students majoring in STEM are more likely to win scholarships than students majoring in a non-STEM field. And those are the numbers. What do you think? Let us know at thecollegeinvestor.com. Right inside this article, you can just type in the words odds of winning a scholarship and you'll find the article. Also, follow us all over social media. We'd love to know your thoughts, your questions, concerns, anything else you want to know. Just search for The College Investor pretty much anywhere, any social media platform, and you'll find us. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.